Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany,
And I'm Cynthia.
and today we're talking about season 5, episode 7, titled Text, Lies, and Videotape. Weird title. Air date November 21st, 2001, and the synopsis is
Jen helps Dawson go back to the therapist, whom he ran away from. Back home in Capeside, Dawson has to handle the problem with his father's will, which does not include Lily. Meanwhile, Joey's working on a project with Wilder about the letters written by Rose Lazar. Also, Pacey confronts Karen about the risks she's taking for having an affair with Danny, but she refuses to listen to him.
Do you like how it starts with Dawson and Jen
Yeah, it was a nice
talking
little
about
scene.
therapy?
Yeah, it was a nice little scene because he wasn't so sure about going back because he left his first appointment. So if they take him back, then he's actually lucky for that.
Well, and we saw Jen in therapy as much as I
Mhm.
didn't want to see it. Um, I just felt like it was just a filler.
What,
Um,
hers or his?
Hers.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, what was she really going through at that point that she needed therapy?
I guess just issues with her dad,
You know what
but
I mean? Like it came out of the blue.
hmm
Like I
yeah.
could see her needing therapy after visiting her dad, or I mean her
hmm
mom when her mom came to town.
Yeah.
Like it was just weird how I don't know, just out of the blue, and then she went to go see her dad, and it was just weird how it all came together. But Dawson's I understand because he lost a parent.
hmm
But yeah, and what's weird is like Jen isn't like this happy person. So it's
Yeah.
just funny how she's giving Dawson advice.
Well, it
Um,
was just more advice about going to the therapist, not to be happy.
well, yeah, but did you hear what he said?
About what?
He said, "Oh, so the goal is unhappiness."
Oh, I didn't include that.
I was like, well, I guess in Jen's world it is. You know what I mean? Like Jen's not the happy, like Andy was the happy person.
hmm
Jen and Joey just aren't.
Right.
So, so yeah, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah. And then Dawson asked her if it feels ridiculous talking to a stranger, and Jen says no more than talking to no one on the radio. So now she's taken over Charlie's job at the station.
I don't know if she really took over his job. I think maybe somehow she got a job there.
So she's
Like
like a part-time.
yeah, I think he still works there. It's just she also works there.
Oh, okay.
Well, they probably liked when they were
Oh,
both on the radio together. Remember when she just jumped on herself?
yeah.
They probably liked it. They probably got a lot of ratings, so they kept her.
hmm
But again, it's out of the blue. She has a job working at the radio station.
Yeah.
Like, when did we see her get the job?
hmm
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so that, yeah, that was just thrown in there, I feel like. But then Dawson and Grams are the only ones that listen to it.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Because Dawson's like, well, I listen to it.
hmm
Well, at least she has one supportive friend, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised Jack doesn't listen. Oh, never mind. He's with his frat buddies. If he didn't have them, he would listen too.
But Woody,
I think he would once in a while.
once once in a while.
Yeah, at least.
Apparently Dawson listens every time she's on the radio.
hmm And then
And
Audrey,
Pacey just doesn't listen at all.
yeah, well, I don't really see them as that good of a friend to listen. I
Well,
feel like he's busy working anyhow.
well, how many people even know she's on the radio? And we just learned she's on the radio.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
know what I
point. Yeah.
mean? Like,
hmm
and Jen isn't the person that like runs down the street saying, "I'm on the radio."
Right.
So she probably told none of her friends. Dawson probably just came about listening to it. You know what I mean? Like
hmm
I just don't see her like bragging that she's on the radio.
Right.
That's probably why none of them listen.
And then Audrey walks in to their dorm, her and Joey's, to say she finally got a digital camera that she's borrowing from George, the film geek she calls. that looks like the kid who doesn't want to go to the dance in 16 Candles, while Dawson, Joey's film geek, looks like Tom Cruise. I thought that was a funny comparison.
But why is he gonna be a film geek?
I mean, yeah, I don't
Why is
know.
Audrey just being mean to all the kids at the school?
Well, I mean, yeah, geek was used as a bully, like a term a bully
Hmm.
would use, but now today doesn't really mean much. Um, yeah, but she's using it for an audition for the show, reality show, Real World,
Hmm.
Ibiza.
Real world.
Yeah,
Wow, that takes you like way back, doesn't it?
well, I kind of remember it, but then I kind of don't. Like, I did not remember what it was until I looked it up. So,
What was it? Because I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch it. I just
yeah,
remember hearing about it, and that's all.
yeah, it
I
was on
remember
MTV.
I was just a baby.
Yeah, it was on MTV, where 7 to 8 young adults, who are picked to live in a new city together, all being filmed nonstop for a temporary time.
How do you do that? Do like none of them have jobs?
No, they're just living there, I guess. I don't know. I didn't look that much into it.
Seriously, they don't have a job.
Well, they're probably being paid to be on the show, so
Probably not that much.
you never know. It was MTV. It was a big network back then.
I feel like the reality world, they didn't get paid that much.
No, I feel like they can get paid a lot. It's so popular.
What are you looking it up?
Yeah, if I can answer.
You think Google's gonna tell you how much they got paid?
I don't
I
know.
feel like it might lie. Would you ever be a real world? Oh, can't even say it.
No, I don't like reality shows. Then, according to
You don't
several,
watch any?
no,
Wait. You never watched Laguna Beach or The Hills?
nope, I don't care for reality shows.
Wheel.
It says according to several season one cast members who appeared on E's for Real, the story of reality TV, each of the roommates were earned 2,600 for filming an entire season of The Real World in New York. Most
2,600?
yeah, most recent
That's
cast
only two
members,
grand.
most recent cast members have reportedly seen their pay bumped up to 5,000 per season. So yeah, I mean that was probably a little bit more back then, but not today, no.
A little
So
bit
yeah,
more back then. I was probably less back then.
that's a show Audrey wants to be on.
Well, she ain't gonna make that much.
Hmm.
Wait, so she can just leave college and go on Real World?
Well, maybe it's a summer thing, maybe like after the school
Like,
year.
I'm confused now. Isn't she supposed to be in college?
Yeah, like I said, maybe it's after the year is up, like in the summertime, summer break.
Because I feel like to be on the show, it just seems like you would have to not have a life. I mean, as in like not working or go to college.
Hmm.
So I don't get how Audrey would just be able to leave when she feels like it to go on the reality show.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But Audrey's personality would get her into the show because she's like outgoing and stuff, you know,
Yeah. Hmm.
and she doesn't mind hooking up with everybody. So, um, I just feel like that's what they probably look for. Well, they're not going to look for like a Joey. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
They're going to want someone that will actually probably start fights.
Yeah. In 1992, they had
1992. Ooh,
yeah, for the show. They
that's
filmed
how old
between
it is.
yes, yeah, I, I didn't write down the years. Yeah, it was already
What?
a good decade old by the time this was brought up in Dawson's Creek. But
Oh my God.
and
We weren't even born. I'm sorry. I'm
yeah,
thrown off.
in 92 they filmed between February and May. So yeah, that definitely would have been during the school year.
Yeah, she wouldn't have time. She'd have like finals.
Yep.
Now, this doesn't make any sense,
Yeah, go ahead. I gotta get my charger.
but it doesn't make any sense why Audrey would be able to be on the reality show. Unless she's like giving up a whole semester just to be on the show. I feel like maybe Audrey's just trying to get famous. Don't you think?
When I think what? I wasn't listening.
I said, I feel like Audrey's just trying to get famous.
Yeah, that's probably part of it more than the money.
Yeah. I mean, what is she really studying? We learned, what was the last episode? We learned she got in because mommy bought her in.
Mm-hmm.
And, which I have a whole thing about that. Like, she just took a spot away from someone who deserved it, like a Joey.
Right.
But anyway, so we learned her mom bought her in. So she's probably not doing well in any of the classes because she didn't have the good grades to get in.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably not doing well. And so, yeah, I could see why she would just want to get famous, you know, so that she doesn't have to
Mm-hmm.
go to college.
Yeah, and then they're still pushing the whole like Wilder's hot and Audrey's like, haven't you thought about being with him before? Because she's like so interested in helping Joy to put her outfit together for the next
Yeah,
meeting.
what did you think of that? Like all of a sudden, like, Audrey's like, "Oh, what are you gonna wear?" And Joey's like, "I'm busy trying to think of like what I'm doing there and like, the assignment and everything." Like she's focused on that, which she should be, but Audrey is like so focused on what Joey's gonna wear, and I, I don't like this storyline. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they haven't really done anything with it. They just keep mentioning it like as a hint or something.
Yeah, how many times are we going to hear that every girl in this college wants to sleep with the professor?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. First of all, I don't know what they see in the guy. Like he's boring. Like I, I don't like the way he treats Joey. I just don't see anything great about him.
Oh, he's been treating her better now since he picked her for the group.
I do you like the way I mean, do you see what they see?
No. And then
I don't get it. I mean, how
yes,
old is this guy?
30 something, I'm guessing. I don't know, mid 30s maybe.
Doesn't he have kids? I know he's married, but doesn't he have kids?
Yeah, he said one kid, yeah.
Hmm. Oh, do all the girls want to be the stepmommy?
I guess.
Ugh.
Yeah, so that's why Joey mentions to Audrey that Cloud is supposed to be more than just being reduced to a piece of meat. So Audrey asks if she'd rather just be a brain rotting in a jar.
Well, and the other thing too is all these girls want to sleep with him.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna get out of it? Do you know
I
what
don't
I
know.
mean? Like
Bragging that
nothing.
bragging that you
What?
slept with the professor, maybe?
I don't get it because even if like, oh, there was someone that wanted to marry him,
Mm-hmm.
like you or even just date him, like you would want to date someone that cheated on his wife. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's just how
That's how
insecure.
all these girls are right now. Like every one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like except for Joey. Like they all just want to sleep with him and it's like, "Why? He's married."
Yeah, they want to do something that's not very like good, like a risky kind of maybe like baddie move. I don't know. Trying to think of this in 2000s terms too. Um,
Thinking of the terms.
yeah, because that wasn't said back then. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Joey isn't wanting to
Mm-hmm.
because all these girls are driving me crazy.
Yeah, that's just because Joey's the only one that's using her brain.
That's because she's only in college for the education.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, was it like 10% are or
Yeah, something like that.
20% are there for the education? Well, we
Mm-hmm.
know Audrey, Jen, and Jack are not,
Right.
or Charlie. So none
You
of
have
them are there
experience.
for, yeah, they're all there for just to have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then apparently there's gonna be an anniversary party for the restaurant.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, that's what the whole thing's about. They get together, the party that they have.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, because Danny isn't was the second chef working there
Oh, is that
after
his
the
name?
yeah Danny,
I,
but they
t
call him
I tend to tune him out. I just call him that boss.
yeah they call him well they're starting to call him by his last name all of a sudden. First it was Danny, now it's I forgot. Retcher?
That's
Wrecker? I don't
because
know.
that's because they're all starting to call. That's because they're starting to use the last names again. Because
Hmm.
Karen calls Pacey Witter. He calls her whatever her last name is.
Hmm.
I don't know. A lot of things I just tune out on this show. The
Yeah, so
boss,
apparently
that boss is one of them.
yeah, so apparently Danny's the second chef at the restaurant because the first one ended up having an addiction to Coke, and Danny was so dedicated to the restaurant that he was even living there for countless months, making sure deliveries went right, and it
Um,
made problems in his marriage.
yeah. How long do you think the episode that Pacey found out, I don't know if it was last episode or the one before, but how long do you think it's been since he found out and he's just keeping this a secret that he knows that they're together, quote, quote?
Mhm. I don't know, maybe a week or two.
Because I don't know, that's a long time to keep it a secret.
Hmm.
Like you're working with these people mostly every day and you haven't said anything.
Yeah,
It's just kind of weird. But okay.
I think he was waiting for them to say something.
Yeah, but Pacey, like he's like he just keeps giving him looks kind of.
Yeah, and then he did ask Danny if Emily, his wife, is going to be there, but
Oh
he
my
says
God.
no.
Oh my God. Did you look at their faces
Hmm.
when Pacey brought up the wife?
Yeah, like he just bursted their little bubble.
They were so upset. Like
Yeah,
Karen
that.
was like looking so annoyed and she like looked at
Hmm.
Danny and I was like, you know what? He does have a wife. You're acting like the girls that are trying to get with Wilder. Like, I
Hmm.
don't like why they got two storylines of the same thing going on right now.
Yeah.
Why do we have the two of the same storyline?
Well, the Wilder isn't actually sleeping with any of his students that we know of, but
You don't
yeah.
know that. They
Hmm.
could they could be. Well, they want to.
Yeah.
But he's a married man. The same thing with Danny. He's a
Hmm.
married man and he's sleeping with Karen. Like, we don't need two of the same. At least spread their storyline out if you want to do the same storyline. Don't put it in the same episodes. I think this is why it's so bad. I mean, there's other reasons because there's nothing else going on except for this. There's just too much cheating and we don't need it.
Yeah.
Um,
So
but
Dawson.
I do love how Pacey sort of brings that up.
Hmm.
Kind of like,
Bringing them back to reality.
yeah, and it's kind of like a hint, like I don't know, he the way he kind of is acting is like, I know.
Yeah, he's
I
like
just
letting
haven't
them
said
know.
anything yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's letting
So.
them know. Yeah,
Hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. And then Dawson goes to therapy for the first time. They talk about his attacks, and he says he knows it's because of his dad's death and dealing with it. And he's not going back to school, at least in California. And he just feels like he's stuck right now, like between the past and the present.
Did you see
And
who
then,
the therapist is?
yeah, but I don't really know who she is.
What?
At least I don't think so. I don't know. Her voice might, kind of sounds familiar, but besides that, I don't know. Who is she?
Well, who was Gretchen?
Pacey's sister? Are you talking about the actress or confusing me?
Yeah.
Oh, that I don't know. Are they sisters in real life or something?
No. No,
Then,
they just worked on the same show together.
oh, well, I don't know because I've never seen the actress that played Gretchen in anything else, so I have no idea.
NCIS?
Nope, I don't watch that, so I never would have
Yeah.
guessed.
So Gretchen played Kate
Okay, don't know who that is,
and
but okay.
and then the therapist is Abby.
Her what on there?
Huh?
Who who are their like? How do their characters relate to one another on that show?
Well, they don't relate. They work together on
Okay, well, that's what I
NCIS.
meant. Like, how are they like related? Yeah, not like
Kate
family.
Kate was an agent
Okay.
and who's on for 2 seasons. And then they killed her off. And then Abby was the
I haven't seen the show, so I don't know.
No, the one who does all the forensic stuff.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the forensic stuff.
Got it.
I loved her. She was like my favorite.
Mm. Was that before or after this?
Well, NCIS started in 2003, so
Oh, okay.
both
So
of
after.
them were
Mm-hmm.
before.
Right.
It's just kind of fun to like see them before NCIS.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I loved both of them on it. Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in there.
No, it's okay. Yeah, I didn't know any of them, so I would have got at that. And
Hey,
then the
you
group,
need to watch it.
I don't know, I'm not really into that kind of stuff. And then the group, for Wilder's going on, they're discussing who the letters could be written to from Lazar. They're trying to come up with theories, and that's what the next meeting is going to be about, who they think it is.
Oh my God, this is so boring.
Well, I thought it was interesting.
I knew you would. I
I'm
was
just
just
more,
like, I don't care.
yeah, because I was trying to figure it out too, even though I couldn't read the actual letters they were looking at, so that didn't help. But
Um, Joey brings up how like it's juniors and seniors that are in this group. Why
right,
is Joey there?
because Wilder likes her, even though she's
Yeah,
a
why
freshman.
why does he like her?
We haven't seen that yet. Just kind of hints, but barely.
That's my thing. Is if it's only for like juniors and seniors, why is Joey there?
Because she's special to Wilder.
Yeah, why is she so special? Why is she
I don't,
like unlike the other girls?
I don't know. I guess maybe her writing. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
or at least part of it.
Right. Let's go with that.
And then at work, Karen asks Pacey if he's going to the party with anyone. And that's when Melanie's brought up again for the first time in a minute and
Yeah,
says
because she's
that
like,
she,
"Where's that blonde girl? What'd she
mm-hmm,
call her?" And then he
I
goes,
don't know.
"Melanie."
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
she said Melissa, and he goes, "Melanie." And I was like,
Right.
"That is true. We haven't seen her since what, episode 2?"
Mm-hmm. Or one, I think even.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I think it was episode 2 because that's when he got the job, I think.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just like, yeah, what happened to her? I thought you were dating her. Thought you were
Mm-hmm.
a one woman man,
Yeah.
which
So
is
Pacey's,
true, but I'm like, we never, again, no indication until now that he isn't seeing her.
mm-hmm. Well,
I don't like this show.
Pacey says she's a law student, so she's very busy. So that doesn't really confirm or not confirm that they're together or not. So,
I know. When I heard that, I was like, so what does that mean?
mm-hmm.
Like, does that mean you're still together?
Yeah.
I can't with the show. They just throw it out there. They're not together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Karen tries to
I shouldn't. I on a TV show, I don't want to sit there and think.
right.
I want to just watch. This show, you have to actually think. I don't like it. Well, you have to think of what's going on in this show because they don't tell you. You got to make it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of plot holes. And then Karen suggests of setting Pacey up with one of her friends, but Pacey is angry and says no, because then he admits that he knows that Karen is seeing Danny. He's like telling Karen that this is going to end badly for her and she's only going to get hurt. And that's when Karen says that Pacey should just stay out of it and walks away. Because Pacey
Oh,
did have to lie to Emily for her so far.
oh, at some point, Dawson, it was in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think he was talking to the therapist. I think. Not sure. But he said, I love college. I didn't know he was enrolled anywhere. I thought he dropped out of what was it, UCLA?
I think he meant beforehand, like at the beginning, maybe when he was going.
Because I was like, you're doing nothing. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
you love college. Yeah, you love college so much you're not in it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, huh? Like I know he wanted to enroll into
Mm-hmm.
Boston, but I didn't know he was enrolled. I literally was like, what? You love college. You went for like 1 month and hated it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? See, this
Mm-hmm.
is what I mean. It makes no sense. How can you
And then
say it? Like Joey would be the one to say I love college. She's so into it.
Mm-hmm.
He isn't even enrolled.
Yeah. And then we see Gail again, and she asks about how therapy's going and about what she thinks about USC. And, Dawson just, wants to stay and help her out. But, she says that they'll be fine. Oh, I'm skipping. Yeah, she says things have to get back to normal, and Dawson asks if anything was ever normal to begin with. And that's when they see the lawyer about Mitch's will. And Lily isn't in it, which was no surprise because she was just born. So,
Okay,
you know,
this is my point. Like, this is what I have a problem with. Um, Mitch didn't put Lily in as well. She's a
right.
baby.
Mm-hmm.
How many people, and especially men, are running to change their will as soon as a baby is born?
Right.
Nobody. I mean, yes, there might be 10%, but most people are too busy to think of adding people to the will.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. I'm sure Mitch waited probably years to even make a will for Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was his firstborn.
Yeah.
So, I don't think it was in his mind to change it when Lily was born.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and especially because he's a man. Like, normally you got to pressure them to do things. You know what I mean? You got to tell them over and over. So it just doesn't make any sense that Dawson is, especially how he's acting. He's like, well, he should have done this. No, he shouldn't. The baby is a baby still. She was just born in what, May, June, and it's only what, November? She's
Mm-hmm.
only what, 6 months old? Control yourself, Dawson.
Yeah.
I could see if she was like 5, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but she's not. She's a baby.
Yeah,
Like,
because
does Gail have a will? Did she put Lily in the will?
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, and especially because they still had the restaurant and stuff, I don't think they had time to put Lily in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's no offense to Lily, it's just she's a baby. The- Nobody thinks they're gonna die tomorrow or
Right.
today.
Mm-hmm.
So, the priority wasn't there.
Yeah, I think
Your
Dawson did.
the everyday life is there.
Yeah, I think Dawson did overthink it. It wasn't that big of a deal, even the lawyers said that they could work around it.
Well,
But
okay, and when does
mhm,
okay, so for I was trying to like pay attention, but I was also tuned out. When does Dawson get money? Was there like a set time or something that he
no,
gets the money?
no, they didn't say that at all.
Like, so what is the will then? Like Mitch is gone. Don't they have to now go
Yeah,
through it?
it's just Lily's not being in there was the main focus of this. So
Okay, but like my thing is like Dawson and gets money, right? Because he's the
yeah.
kid.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't he just split it with Lily?
Yeah, he could do that
Open up a
too.
bank account and give half your money to your sister
Mm-hmm.
as a done deal.
Yeah,
Like, that's what I don't understand is if I was Dawson, I would just be like, my sister gets half, right?
yeah.
Just give your sister half when you're released the money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Why is he so upset? Like, just give your sister the money.
Right.
And even Gail, she's your daughter, right? When you get your half, just give her the money. Like, I don't understand why this is even a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even if he set up a trust that Dawson has to be 25, at that point, set up all your own trust for her where she gets half the money at 25 too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't make any sense that Dawson's overreacting
Yeah.
because what is the big deal? Just give your sister the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it says you can only use it for this, this, and this. Like, there's nowhere in it that says Dawson can't give his sister his half.
Right.
I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, but the lawyer still tells them that if there is a letter stating that Lily's part of it, it might be somewhere that Mitch put it. So that still kind of drags it on for Dawson to look
But
for it.
who cares? Just give
I
her the
know.
money.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of this? I mean, I don't really understand what the big deal is of why she's not in the will.
I think it's just really easy for Dawson to focus on this one thing because he doesn't have a lot going on right now, and he's still grieving the death of his father. So he can't help but not focus on it.
And I'm sorry, but I'm actually surprised that Dawson even gets some money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because a lot of times they leave the money to the spouse.
Yeah.
Unless it's probably your second or third marriage, then you're going to leave it to your kids. But a lot of times the money just goes down to the whoever's left, whatever spouse is left, and then the kids get the money when the last parent passes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird how Dawson's going to get money when isn't like this is what I'm confused at too. Gail's still alive. Don't they share the same bank account?
I don't know, but I
So
wouldn't put
I'm really confused because the money that is left from Mitch should go to Gail, right? It's in the same bank account.
maybe, yeah, but I wouldn't put it past Mitch to have saved up some money for his kids somewhere. So just so
So
they
you
can use
think
it for
there's
their
like a
future.
you think there's like a trust just for Dawson?
Yeah, it could be.
Because I'm really confused because I'm like, isn't Gail supposed to live off that money?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's her money too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of confused at when Dawson gets this money.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't it be when your mom dies unless your dad made you a trust?
Right. Yeah.
But they don't say that, do they?
No, they don't give any more details.
Right. So that's why I'm just so confused at why it's a big deal. And when Dawson gets this money, doesn't Gail get the money first and then she gives it to Dawson?
Mm-hmm.
And also, wouldn't Mitch and Gail have done this whole putting Lily in the will together?
Well, I don't know. It was a separate role. I don't know.
That's what
They
I'm
just,
confused at too. Is Lily in Gail's will?
well, I'm pretty sure she will be after this at least, but yeah.
Because Gail talks about how Mitch, kind of his priorities weren't in line, but I'm like, but I'm so confused. Like, why didn't you go together as husband and wife? And when you made, did you put Lily in yours? And when you didn't you ask Mitch, is Lily in yours? Like, I'm so confused.
I just
Oh,
thought maybe this happened during their separation. Like they had a will together and then they separated and then they wrote their own separate wills. Something that's when Mitch had made his. So this was before Lily was even born or even close to being born. That would make
mm,
more sense as to why he didn't add her or even later on when she was born. So
right. Yeah, but they should have said that.
yeah.
Like, why do I have so many questions? Like, I'm sorry, but I shouldn't have this many questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I
And
have
then
another question thing. Am I are
mm,
this ever gonna be are my questions ever gonna be answered on the show?
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with
Maybe
probably not.
yeah,
Well, they just end the plot line after this episode.
unless they come back and bring everything together at the very end of the series, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope so, because otherwise I'm always gonna have these questions.
Mm-hmm. And then Wilder is giving Joey special attention by going through, Rose's letters again, who she was writing them to. He has a
Why
really good
is he
idea.
giving her special attention?
I mean, it's between classes, so they ran into each other, but still, he's like talking it through with her. Like maybe it was a friend that she made at college. So Joey will look
Well,
into that.
he tells her because she said, "Why did you pick me or whatever in your class?" And he said, "Well, I like underdogs."
Hmm.
Are you sure you just didn't like Joey?
Right.
Because she stands out because she's not like all the other girls that want to sleep with you.
Hmm.
Like I feel like because she doesn't want to sleep with him, it's this attraction to get her to sleep with you
Right.
or get her to that point.
Hmm.
That all because all the other girls clearly they just will. They'll just drop everything. But
Yeah.
Joey won't. And so I feel
Hmm.
like it's that temptation that and that fantasy that he wants. And I just don't like it. I'm like, is she really the underdog or is it just because he likes her?
Yeah, probably that. The letter.
Yeah, because I'm like, why does she get special treatment over the other kids? you know?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. And then, yeah, so later on, Dawson's going through the house looking for that piece of the paper for his dad's will. And then he finds out that his mom did find it in his Stephen King novel, page 63, and it wasn't signed.
Okay, I don't understand this because she was like, Dawson, you're worrying me. And he goes, how or whatever. And then he's like, oh, well, you found the letter or whatever. I'm like, why didn't she just come on saying I found it? Like, I
Yeah, I
don't
know.
understand this at all. Why is this such a big deal? Why didn't she, when he was searching, why didn't she just
Hmm.
say, thank you for helping me look for the paper, but I found it instead of
Yeah.
you're worrying me. I'm like, what? I don't
I guess,
understand.
yeah, I guess she didn't want him to be disappointed that Mitch didn't sign it, but yeah.
But no, it was when he kept searching. Then she was all like,
Hmm.
but then he said it or she said it. And I'm like, but it was after she said that she was worried about him
Right.
and that
Yeah.
he needed to stop looking. And it's like,
Hmm.
well, you should have just opened your mouth and said, I found it. Now you can stop looking instead of stop looking.
Yeah, I know. It's,
That didn't make any sense though,
yeah, that was stupid. Yeah.
because then he said, oh, you found it and it's not signed.
Hmm.
And it was like, why didn't she just say it when he was searching?
I know. Yeah, she should
Like,
have.
I don't understand the writing on this.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't you just tell him to stop because you found it instead of, I'm just worried about you?
I know.
Well, who says that? Instead
I
of,
know.
I
Yeah.
found it, I found it.
Hmm.
I don't get it at all. I can't. Now, okay, now do you get why I was like sleeping through season 5 the first time around?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because I don't get this show anymore. I mean, I never really did, but
Hmm.
season 3 and 4 were good, right?
Yeah.
It's went downhill since.
Hmm. So Joey goes to the library and sees a girl from her class or the group for the letters.
Yeah, and she was looking for the yearbook, and that girl had it.
Yeah, because Joey was going to look up Rose's roommate, and the idea had already crossed the girl's mind too in her class, so that's why she had it.
Well, and Wilder said um that your friends, something about being friends for life comes from, and he goes, don't say high school. And she said college. So it's like
Hmm.
she needs to expand her friendship, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so she talks to this.
Even though, let's be honest, do you really want all the friends to, separate on a teen show? No.
Right, yeah. So she talks to this girl, and she mentions how she only is participating in this group just to be closer to Wilder.
Yep. Because apparently that's what all the girls are doing.
Hmm.
So at this point, it's like, so then what does Joey have in common with any of these girls then that Wilder kind of is like hinting to like be friends with if they all just want to sleep with them? Is that what he's trying to get to, is be friends with them so I can sleep with you?
I don't know.
I don't get his motive.
Maybe he just likes the attention.
Yeah.
And then Karen meets up with Pacey and apologizes to him for earlier. And Karen
Hmm.
says that Pacey reminds her of Danny.
Um, hmm. Yeah. And he said, I remind you of the man who could cheat on his wife.
Hmm. And Karen
Yeah,
explains that,
yeah,
yeah,
but Pacey is not that person.
right, yeah.
Like once he's with someone, he puts
Hmm.
them above everything and everyone.
Yeah. I think it's just, it's like their cooking skills, but after that, it ends their comparison. Yeah, so Karen explains that the affair started when Danny and his wife were separated, with the whole giving the restaurant all his attention,
Well,
too.
because he was never at home
Yeah.
to be with his wife. Especially when he was sleeping at the restaurant, then he had no time to be home.
Hmm.
But I don't think that that's an indication to cheat. I think that's an indication to work on your marriage.
Yeah. And then Pacey invites Karen inside the boat, but she says she has to go back home.
Well, and what I didn't understand about Karen is when she was yelling at Pacey, she was saying that he couldn't comprehend what was going on. And I was like, what can't he comprehend? Like, the guy is cheating on his wife. That's all
Hmm.
anyone needs to know.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing more than that. Do you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, and you are part of it. So it's like, that's all he needs to know because that's all anyone needs. Like, I don't understand what, because she's saying, like, oh, there's more to the story. There's not more to the story. He's still married. Like,
Right.
at the end of the day, he's still married. At the end of the day, he will probably still be with his wife. Like, I don't care what is in your head. I sorry, I see what Pacey sees. He's a married man. Leave him alone.
Me
Find
too.
someone, first of all, find someone your own age. And secondly, find someone that's not married. Like, all you're ever going to be then is the homewrecker. And nobody
Right.
likes it.
Hmm.
And also, if he's cheating on his wife with you, what makes you think you're any better? Like, all that's going to happen then, like if you actually are together, is he's going to probably cheat again on you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I don't know why anyone would want to be with a married person, whether it's man or wife. Like, it's the same thing with Gail. You could have said the same thing about Gail. Like, why you'd want to be with her? Because she might cheat, again. I don't get it.
Yeah, neither do I.
And why Karen? Because look, she's young and pretty. Like, why does she want to give everything kind of up for Danny?
Hmm.
Like, I don't even know what's good about him.
Yeah. Danny, Wilder, don't know what they see in them.
Me either. I'm not
Yeah.
here for them.
Yeah, neither am I. And then Jen and Dawson talk about his therapist and how she wants to see him 3 times a week now. And Jen says she's glad about this just because that means that she gets to see Dawson more. Because that means he'll be in
Um,
Boston.
well, I was gonna say they can't see each other more than that.
Right.
Like, he doesn't work and he doesn't go to school. So he has a lot of free time to go see Jen, right?
Hmm.
So it's kind of weird. And do you like that he's using Gail and Lily as his, not his fallback, but um,
As his excuse not to move on
yeah,
to his life.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I can see why he's doing that, but the longer he does it, the more it's going to hurt him. So I think he just needs someone to help him see that. That's why Jen even tells him that he's hanging on to the wrong thing when he mentions about his dad's will.
Well, and also like the more you're helping your mom,
Hmm.
the more Gail isn't gonna put everything on her. Like, because she's still relying on Dawson.
Hmm.
And if he is at school in a way, that means everything, all the responsibility is on her. And, it'll get her out of that funk too. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
So, because then she'll have to get back into the everyday. I have to take care of the business and Lily. But right now, she doesn't have to because Dawson's around.
Hmm.
But I think that'll get her out of the funk too, is if he goes back to school, then it's like, okay, I need to get into a new reality. This is my new life without Mitch.
Hmm.
So I think they both need him to move on and go to college or get a job or whatever he wants to do. But he needs to find something.
Right. Do they even have the restaurant still?
Well, remember when Mitch died, it said it was there was a death in the family. I don't know if they ever reopened.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, is it still closed? Because I feel like they can't stay closed for very long either, because then they would lose the money to keep it open.
Well, that's their only income right now
Hmm. I know, it
because
just seems like,
she quit her job to open the restaurant.
yeah, I know, just they haven't mentioned it once. So I'm just wondering.
And Dawson isn't working to make ends meet, so I don't.
Yeah. So who knows? Another thing up in the air.
So are they at Wilder's house?
Yeah.
Oh, where is his wife and child if they're at his house?
I don't know, I guess somewhere else, maybe with her parents or just somewhere out and about.
But he's not separated, so it's like, and they're at his house at night. Wouldn't his
Hmm.
child be sleeping?
Yeah, I don't know. Really
Like,
don't
I
know.
don't get it. It's not like it's during the day where his wife would be at work and his kid would be at school. Like, I don't understand this. I'm like, it seems like it's at night and they're at his house. So where's his wife and child? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, no, I didn't even think of that though.
And and if his wife is there, wouldn't she like be like, don't be interacting that way with those girls?
What do you mean?
What the way I don't know, just the way he's sort of interacting with Joey and stuff. It's like it's inappropriate. And I feel like his wife would catch on if she was home.
Yeah, I mean, during the group, seemed normal, but she was the only one that stayed afterward, which was weird.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'd be like, why is this girl still here?
Hmm.
Like in my house.
Yeah. And then, what did they even talk about during the time? Oh yeah, because Joey gave her theory about the letters being written to Rose herself, and everyone's impressed. Yeah, and then they talk about Joey being insecure of herself and thanks Wilder for picking her for the group because she was doubting why she was even there in the first place.
Yeah, because she was like, oh, like like was that a stupid answer? Like kind of
Hmm.
like, am I stupid? And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah. And then
That's what I mean is like if his wife was there, it'd be like, why is she still here?
yeah.
Like, can't you talk in class?
Hmm. They should, yeah. Or his office hours, even though there's usually a long line for that
I know that's the thing is, shouldn't they be doing all this talking in his
on
classroom?
campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
I don't like that it's at his house with his wife not there.
Right. Yeah, me either. And then Audrey goes over her audition tape to Joey, and then that's how Joey got the idea too, because Audrey's talking about how she's scared that she's becoming her mother. And then Joey tells her that I've met your mother and you're nothing like her. So I think you know, Audrey really needed to hear that in that moment. And so I'm glad that Joey told her. But do we never hear if she even made it to the show or not, at least in this episode? Do we
Not,
ever hear if she made it or not? Or is this
no,
dropped too?
I think it's dropped.
Oh, okay.
But then we go to the restaurant where the party is.
Hmm.
And the boss's wife shows up.
Yep. After
And
he's already dancing with Kieran.
y- that was my thing. Oh my God. Like, if you saw your husband dancing with an employee, like, to me, that's just like red flags. Everything's crossed. Like,
Hmm.
and she never questions it.
Nope.
What? Who
I
doesn't
think,
question that?
yeah, I think she might just be like in denial of it. Like she doesn't want to believe it, so she's pretending it's not happening. I don't know.
Uh, that bothered me.
Because like this would just be another reason that's, another thing that's taking her away from him, taking
Uh-huh.
him away from her. So
I didn't like that the wife didn't catch on.
yeah, and then
She was just
Pacey,
happy dancing with him all on her own and kissing him.
yeah. And then
And then
Pacey,
Pacey feels bad.
yeah. Well, before that, Pacey was the one that even like warned Danny and Karen that Emily was
Yeah,
there.
because I think they were gonna start making out. And Pacey was
Hmm.
like, oh, hi, whatever her name,
Emily.
Emily.
Yeah. Yeah, and
I'm
then
sorry,
Eve,
but they were dancing too close to be a coworker.
yeah. Or not even a coworker, that's his employee because he's the boss. So that's even worse.
Yep.
And then yeah, so Emily said she had trouble getting there because she didn't want to celebrate the restaurant that almost ruined her marriage, and I get that. So it took a lot to even go there. And then she sees that, but then at the same time she doesn't see it because she has no reaction to it. So
Nope. I didn't like it. I'm like, that just fell. Like
hmm.
the only one that has the reaction is Karen.
Yeah.
And
She was mad.
she's a cheater. So
Yeah.
um I mean, honestly, I wanted his wife to come in and like slapped her or something. Like, this show does not have anything fun in it for
Hmm.
me to be excited about. The
Yeah.
only
And
like violence that ever happened was like Joey pouring that drink on Abby. Ooh, like
well,
I
Jen did
can't.
slap her too. That
That
was a good
was
hit.
it.
Yeah.
But that was a long time ago.
Hmm.
There's been really nothing since.
Yeah, and Karen's only mad because Pacey's telling her the truth that Danny's not gonna leave his wife for her. So
But I did think it was like that, as much as I don't like Karen right now, that she was like, I just wish I could be someone else. And then Pacey gets the idea of, hi, I'm Scott. And then they play along. And then
hmm
he dances with her right next to whatever his name
Danny
is.
and Emily.
Yeah. And yet Danny doesn't even blink an eye. He doesn't even look that way.
Hmm
And that's what I mean. He really must somewhat love his wife to not even look over.
Yeah,
Like, think about it. If he's so miserable in his marriage, he would be like looking over, glancing at Karen, but he's not. He's so focused in love with his wife. It doesn't even dawn on him to look over.
yeah.
Did you see anything where he didn't feel in love with his wife
No,
on that dance floor?
no.
Nope, because they started making out and it was like, and then all Kieran's doing is talking about it. And it was like, and it was so funny because like she brought up the kissing and Pacey said, well, public kissing is one of the benefits of marriage.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. I was like,
yeah. And then
oh, he's got that point.
yeah, and for the second time in the season, Pacey has to hold a woman back from going at it with a guy that that's with another woman. So
I know. Stop it, Pacey. I want to see someone fight for once. On this show, let me watch some. Maybe it'll get more. Maybe you guys will get better ratings from me if I see somebody finally fight.
hmm And then Dawson's in therapy again, talking about his dad's will and how he's mad that, Mitch didn't sign it. And, not Mitch, the therapist tells Dawson that he can be mad at his dad because maybe he was wrong about Dawson going back to California and that maybe it was just about his hopes and expectations. And just because he died doesn't mean he gets to win the argument, which I agree. And she tells him he's allowed to be mad, Dawson, and she also tells him to decide what to do with his life. And yeah.
Oh, when I think it was Dawson was talking to Jen, or
hmm
no, I forgot who he was talking to about the socks. Was
I
it
don't even know.
Gail? I forgot. He was talking to someone, and he was
hmm
saying that um Mitch refused to buy socks, so he would just borrow his. And I was like, that would mean that Mitch bought your socks too. So that would mean he did pay for socks.
I didn't even write anything about that down. So I don't
I
know.
did. It was weird because I was like, he refused to buy socks for himself, okay, but he bought you socks, so that would mean he still bought socks.
hmm
I don't know. I just thought that was weird. I was like, but he did buy socks just for you.
hmm
Like, so it's not like he just refused to buy socks, period.
Right.
Then he's putting on the socks he bought, right?
hmm
Just thought it was stupid that they would even throw that in there.
Yeah. And then Dawson gets in his car after his therapy appointment and he hears Jen on the radio and she dedicates a song to him. And she
Uh,
mentions about a flashback of
Seeing her
the lake.
naked.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, Graham listens to this.
Well, maybe it was late enough that she was asleep already.
No, she said the one yeah, but I think her sessions on the radio are late at night.
hmm
And I think that's the only reason why Dawson is up is he's listening to Jen. And
Yeah.
Graham's is listening because it's her granddaughter. But I was like, Graham's is gonna listen to this, Jen.
Yeah. Well, I actually forgot about this whole thing too. They were in the lake.
You forgot? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe you forgot that.
Yeah. Either way, it makes Dawson happy to hear that.
Yeah, well, that's when she changed her mind about being with him, remember? Because she saw his package. And JC and I were giving that a hard time
hmm
because it was the
And
same
then,
episode that Joey saw Jack. Remember when he dropped the towel or whatever?
oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Because we were saying, oh, that's why Joey would want Jack, but not Dawson.
Well, she never even saw Dawson though. So, but yeah.
No, but Jen did. And we are like, well, Jen broke up with him. So it's like, oh, she saw something she didn't like.
hmm And then Joey you know, tells Audrey about how she got the idea about the letters from her audition tape, and
And how she's
Audrey,
nothing like her mother.
yeah, yeah, that was before too. But because Audrey said, asks how much Wilder was impressed by it, and Audrey picks on Joey for staying after the group and how Wilder thinks she's special, but Joey says she doesn't care about that at all. Then at the end, she has a smile on her face after Audrey turns off the lights. So does that mean now Joey's starting to like him?
Yep.
Oh boy. I was hoping she wouldn't like give in to that, but I
She
think
is.
she, yeah.
They're making Joey like every other girl on this campus.
Oh boy. Yeah, and then Pacey visits Karen and he brought her food because she didn't really eat at the party, and she thanks him for listening and everything and stopping her from talking to Danny and for not telling her I told you so.
Yeah, but then there's a voicemail that's Danny
Oh yeah.
apologizing.
Did I not include that?
Okay, so what I wanted Karen to do was delete it. Like I wanted her to go right
Oh,
over there
it
and
is.
delete it. Didn't you?
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
was going on, I was like, no, he deserves to be deleted.
Well,
And
she couldn't
yet she didn't.
delete because it was live, it was ongoing. The only thing she could have done was pick up the phone and hang it up, but she should have did
No,
that.
but as soon as he was done talking, she should have walked over there and hit delete on her answer machine.
Oh, I thought he
That's
was
what
still
I'm,
talking when it ended.
no,
When the scene ended.
no, because I think, no, like, um, no, I think, that's, yeah, but they could have added that,
Yeah,
but
because
she was still obsessing over him at that point,
mhm.
and I didn't like it.
Yeah, because I put Danny calls and leaves a message and apologizes to what happened at the party and says he loves her. Karen goes into a corner of the room while Pacey walks out.
That's what I'm saying is that would have been a perfect time to change her character to where I'd
Yeah.
like her and by deleting his message.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't.
Even
They made it ongoing that I don't like her.
yeah. That she most likely will give him another chance. It sounds like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
And Pacey won't.
And again, he's apologizing to her.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't look unhappy on the dance floor. This is what I'm saying. He's playing both women, and I
Women.
don't
Mm-hmm.
like it because you didn't look unhappy
Yeah.
at all. So
Mm-hmm.
don't tell me you're unhappy in your marriage and that you are. You see, the thing is, he's probably telling Karen, I'm going to leave her. Like, I'm miserable. You didn't look like it.
Right. Yeah, he said nothing about that in the
This is
message.
why, yeah, but this is why Karen thinks that she's going to be with him.
Yeah, she has a chance, yeah.
No,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but when they were on the dance floor, that should have been like a hit in her face of, I will never be with him because he's never leaving her.
Right.
But she still has it in her head. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Why is she believing him so much? I don't get it.
She's just
Like he's a
believing.
cheat. Yeah, but he's a cheater and a liar.
Yeah, she's just believing the words that he says that she wants to hear. And that's all that she can see.
Okay,
She's just
so
blinded.
the title of this episode
Mm-hmm.
is Text, Lies, and Videotape.
Where's the
So
text?
I don't know.
Because like I can't even remember anybody writing anything to anybody else. Well, or was it the letters that Joey goes through? Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's probably it. It's
Yeah,
not literal texting.
and then the
Yeah.
lies are
Danny.
Danny.
And then the
And then
videotape is Audrey.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think the videotape was that big of a deal.
I know, me either.
That they would even put that in the title.
Mm-hmm.
I was like waiting for like a sex tape or something. Like
Yeah, I
I
thought
was like,
maybe
what is this videotape that we're
yeah,
so interested in for the title?
yeah, I thought maybe the videotape of Pacey and Miss Jacobs was to come back to light. I don't know. Like that was the first thing I thought of. Because we still don't know what happened to that tape, so
I didn't understand why the Audrey's videotape is in the title.
right. And then like I said, we don't even know what happened to the show, so it makes it even less relevant.
Nope. Yep. So I didn't feel like it was a big storyline to even put it in the title.
Mm-hmm.
Made no sense to me, but the show
Yeah.
really doesn't.
And then Dawson gets home to Capeside and Gail gives him his mail. And apparently Mitch had entered Dawson's film into a festival in New Hampshire, and he won it
Ooh.
somehow. And like now Dawson's just finding this out
Mm-hmm.
because it's been like what, almost 2 months maybe since Mitch passed. So maybe he put this like 3, 4 months ago he submitted it. So it's been a while. I feel like it's been too long maybe for a festival to get in contact. I don't know. I could be totally wrong, but
I don't know. I just again, it's just weird, random. He won a festival. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Dawson's movies does not even compare to others. Like
yeah,
they all suck.
yeah. I think this was just a way to keep the plot line with Dawson grieving over his dad more.
Well, and how Mitch was right. Dawson's film career is important.
Hmm.
Like Dawson's trying to give up on the dream.
Yeah.
And it's another indication like, hey, you won a festival, even though I don't believe it. And because I didn't believe the last one with the monsters.
Yeah, so like he has what it takes to keep going.
Yeah, he has what it takes to be a film um
Maker.
maker and director and stuff. I don't see
Hmm.
it.
Yeah, so Dawson tells Gail that he's not going back to USC, and Gail simply says, okay.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
like, what? Mitch made
What?
this a whole big deal, and you're like, okay.
I
And
think
yet,
because he's already down, she doesn't want to put him even further. Plus,
yeah.
Mitch was the one that overreacted, and
Hmm.
Gail was like, "Okay." She was saying basically, "Okay," then too. Remember, she was telling Mitch like, "Well, this is like Dawson's like life and stuff." Like she what didn't seem to care that he was giving up.
Hmm.
It didn't make any sense that she would be unbothered, you know?
Yeah, because Gail says that she doesn't want Dawson to go to a school just to honor his dad, which is true. He shouldn't. And Gail says that he would have won Mitch over eventually. I don't know about that, but
No, because if Mitch would have found out that he won the festival, then he would have been like, see, you
hmm,
deserve to be at USC.
yeah.
So it would have just been another thing like Mitch is right.
Hmm. Yeah, and then Gail and Dawson talk about how much they miss Mitch and love him, and they just sit together in front of the
Maybe this
fireplace.
is where he talks about the sex.
About the what?
Sex.
What about it now?
Remember how he didn't buy his own sex?
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah,
Maybe this is where it was.
yeah.
And
And
then
that
that
was the
was
last
it.
scene. Yeah.
What'd you think of the episode?
Um, Besides for the party, I didn't really care for the other plot lines. I mean, I was interested in who the letters were written to, but after that, I wasn't really that much. And then it was more about Walder anyways, so that wasn't great to watch.
Yeah, they didn't even focus on the letters.
Hmm.
It wasn't like the episode is about a mystery. That should have been a part of it, like mystery. But it's like, no, that just wasn't in it.
So then, high and low.
Hmm. But,
Hi,
so my high is, yeah, I would say the party at the restaurant.
hmm.
When Pacey was dancing with Karen was my high
Yeah, that
because he
was
was
nice.
being like a good friend to her.
Hmm.
Um, and my low was the rest of the episode.
Yeah, my high was, I think, just how Dawson found out that he won that film festival, just because it gives him something to focus on that's not at home or about the will or anything anymore. Like he finally can focus on something good for him. And then the low would be Pacey, like kind of getting disappointed that Karen's still after Danny after he's been there for her, and he like thought he got to her, like Danny's not leaving his wife, so you should just let it go and all that. So yeah. And
Mhm.
then rating.
So I'm sorry. This is
What?
such a bad episode.
I know.
Oh my God. So since this was such a bad episode, it was so boring. I cannot believe they actually found 40. 2 minutes of screen time in the episode. But I would rate this poorly episode a 4. I didn't like it. It was so boring.
Yeah, I'd set a 5.
Yeah, see, boring. And then who's your best and worst character?
My best was Pacey because he was there for Karen trying to help her out. And of course, the worst is Danny because he's a cheater.
Because he's a cheater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the worst was pretty easy in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Because Danny just flat out cheated and didn't really care. And again, he's playing both women.
Yep.
And yeah, the best. I did think at first it would be Jen because I was like, oh, she is being supportive with Dawson. But Pacey won me over, of course, when he was there for Karen through the whole thing. Because he
Mm-hmm.
was, at first it was like how he was coming off to her at the beginning. It was like a little harsh, but she needed that. It was like the tough
Yeah.
love that she needed. And
Mm-hmm.
then he didn't have to dance with her, but
Right.
he did to get her mind off of Danny. And then
Mm-hmm.
he even brought her food afterwards.
Yep.
Like he was just there for her the whole time. And I mean, she was pretty mean to him too. So, but yeah, he just stuck it through.
Yep.
So yeah, for me, the best was Pacey. And then what's the next episode?
Episode 8, Hotel New Hampshire.
Okay, can this get any better?
Well, it's going to be about the film festival there, so we'll see.
Yeah, but hotel. All
Yeah.
right, guess we'll find out next time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.